And we're live. Okay, so welcome everybody. Welcome to Smoothies 101. It's going to be a very basic conversation about how and why we should be building healthy smoothies, okay? And how they're going to be benefiting us really when we're doing it right. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jen Jodwin. I'm an advanced holistic nutritionist. I have a strong belief in the healing power of food, and that comes from a 17-year-long journey of battling my hormone imbalances and experiencing symptomatic relief through food, through lifestyle, and all of this inspired me. Oh, and I'm just going to mute everybody. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay. That has really inspired me to, help women take back control and control of their hormones, control of their lives, control of their health. And I know that as, personally as a mom, I know that if it's not simple and if it's not something that we can do on a day-to-day basis, it's not realistic. And so I focus on long-term lifestyle solutions through education and helping you understand how to make those small changes in your life on a day-to-day basis that are going to produce positive change, okay? On a side note, I am a mama of one. She is 4 years old. My daughter has just started school, and I am bilingual in training. So my first language is English. However, my daughter's first language is French. And so if you find that I stutter a lot during my presentation or I have a loss for words, that is because I'm literally switching gears in my mind from one language to another. And I actually, even though English is my first language, I actually tend to forget my words now that I spend so much time at home thinking and speaking in a different language. So you'll have to excuse me if you find that if I lose my words a little bit. I'm going to try and keep a very solid train of thought tonight. So fingers crossed for us here. Now, so why should we be including daily smoothies, right? When our body is not getting important nutrients that it needs, our body cannot metabolize our foods properly. And so we tend to experience, different symptomatic health problems such as weight gain and exhaustion, belly bloating, IBS, constipation, low energy, even low sex drives. Okay, so ladies, this is a really big one for a lot of us as our menstrual cycles and our monthly cycles ebb and flow. This is something that we should be considering because it's not always normal to experience a low sex drive. It might be common, but not necessarily normal. So these are things where including daily smoothies can actually help to regulate some of this, and we're going to see why in a little bit. So smoothies are really helping us to pack in a lot of nutrients all at once. They are easy to digest, they are increasing our energy, and they can even actually help us kick our sugar cravings, which is a huge deal for so many of us. So many of us have such a negative relationship with sugar. And so being able to understand our sugar cravings and having small tools that you can use on a daily basis to overcome them can really help give you a little bit more control over the way that you feel and ultimately look on a day-to-day basis. So smoothies are, of course, are actually really important, okay? So they help us get a chock full of vitamins, enzymes, and minerals into our body. They are easy to digest, which means we are assimilating or absorbing our nutrients in an optimal environment. They're great for stabilizing our blood sugar. And I'm actually going to be sharing a couple of recipes with you here tonight. Each smoothie that I'm sharing with you is going to have a healthy fat, and fats are key for blood sugar stabilization. This is something that I touched on last week when I hosted the sugar talk and kicking your cravings. So I'm not going to go very deep into it tonight, but making sure that you've got a healthy fat source in your smoothies is really going to help stabilize your blood sugar levels so that you're not having an energy crash within 2-3 hours. But they're also a really great way to consume a variety of different fruits and vegetables at one time. I mean, realistically, if we took a look at, like your standard banana spinach smoothie, that's not something you would typically eat, those combinations of food, if they weren't blended together. I mean, I never put together a bowl full of spinach, chop up a banana on top, pour some milk into it and eat that. I would never even, it would never cross my mind to do that. And it's not something that even interests me in the littlest bit. But to blend all that into a smoothie is like a really, really delicious way to eat. So it really gives us the opportunity to have variety at one time. And of course, that increases the added benefit of cleansing our body of toxicity, because we are getting such a good, high quality and variety of fruits and vegetables being assimilated as their nutrients optimally. And then it's a really easy way to add fiber to your diet for, of course, our optimal bowel functions. So there are two types of fiber. One really helps our body to flush out and pull out the toxins in our body. And the other one really helps our body to feel full and satisfied. And so having good sources of both, which we get from plant-based sources, so it's just fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans and legumes. Animal-based sources don't tend to have a whole lot of fiber in them. So really looking at our plant-based sources of food is where we're going to get the fiber that supports a healthy gut. So, smoothies are giving us energy. They're helping us sleep better. Why, you're probably asking? There's a couple of reasons. Number one, if we have balanced hormones within our body, and I'm not just talking about women, I'm talking in general, our hormones, such as our cortisol levels, so our stress hormones, our insulin levels, which is our blood sugar, okay, our dopamine, so our feel-good hormones, our melatonin, which is our sleep regulation hormones. So when we have these hormones in balance by providing good nutrition to our body, this supports a healthy body in so many ways. So we do end up having better sleep. Of course, that helps us lose weight as well. Now, I posted in JP Heal, I don't know how many people saw, but I posted a question today that asked, true or false, smoothies make you gain weight? So a couple of people answered that's a trick question, and I noticed a lot of people answered no. And the truth is that that smoothies actually can make you gain weight. How you build a smoothie and what you put into a smoothie matters. So a smoothie can be a fantastic tool for weight loss. It can be a fantastic tool for weight gaining, and it can be your enemy if it's done wrong and you have an ultimate goal, okay? So I'm gonna talk a little bit about how to build your smoothie so that you're hitting your goals specifically towards the end. Now, why should we be blending our smoothies? Okay, so the health of our body depends on our digestion. When we blend our foods, we are supporting our digestion because we are breaking down the food and the nutrients so that it's not so hard for our body to access the nutrients within that food and within that fiber. And so when we drink our food as a smoothie, they are in a pre-digestible state. Now, why not have juice, right? Juice removes the fiber. Juice is just the nutrition, or like the vitamins and the minerals, but it's also highly loaded with sugar contents and very little fiber that's going to help support your body in absorbing those nutrients or regulating the transmission of those nutrients so that you don't have energy crashes. So a smoothie where your food is blended as opposed to being juiced is a better option for your body, your digestion, and accessing your nutrients. And did you actually know that 80% of your energy is spent digesting and assimilating your nutrients? So that means when we are eating our food, 80% of the energy that our body is using is just being spent to digest our food. So imagine how exhausting that is on our body, right? Particularly if you're used to eating very large meals 3-4 times a day, then this is a lot of energy that our body spends digesting and trying to absorb these nutrients, when our body could be spending that time doing other things, such as giving us energy to get through the day, giving us a boost so we can do a workout, having energy to play with your children, not feeling fatigued when you wake up in the morning. And that's actually why it's important to have an appropriate length of break or a fasting between your supper and your breakfast the next day, so that your body actually has the chance to relax from this digestive experience that it goes through all day long. So instead of having to prepare and eat, cup after cup after cup of healthy food, like fruits and vegetables and leafy greens, we're packing them into one nutrient dense smoothie, which allows our body to digest it easier and not spend so much energy on the digestion process. So this is a question that I get asked a lot. What blender should I use? What blender do you recommend? I have this on hand. Is this adequate enough? This really all depends on how you like your smoothies, okay? So you can see here, smoothies or blenders basically range anywhere from $25 to $500 upward, okay? So where you're willing to spend your money and how much money you have in your budget is really gonna mostly, for most people, dictate what level blender you buy. Now, you can go for top of the line, that's a Vitamix. That's a really fantastic piece of equipment. It's like $500, but you are going to get a super wicked smooth smoothie using a Vitamix, okay? So you will not have any chunks. There won't be any fiber. These are typically the types of machines that are used in smoothie bars or, health food stores. When you go in and you order a fresh smoothie, these are usually the types of blenders that they're using. Then you can work your way down the Blend Tech, which is another really great option, very similar to the Vitamix as well. But the ones that I really recommend for people who are maybe just starting out with smoothies or who don't do a lot of blending in general, basically the Magic Bullet and the NutriBullet are fantastic options. Okay, so I personally only have a Magic Bullet. That's it. Now I'm on my third one in 9 years, third one in 9 years, okay? So, but it blends my smoothies. It blends, like oh my gosh, I make soups with it. I make sauces with it. I make hummus with it. It's my multi-use product, okay? Or equipment in my kitchen. So they last a very long time for a very small amount of money. And I know that oftentimes they go on sale. I think they're usually like $50 or $60, and they go on sale for anywhere between 35 and 40 if you're looking at maybe Canadian Tire here in Canada. So a really economical way to bring in a small piece of equipment that's going to give you a lot out of it. What I really like most about the Magic Bullet too is that the blender cup is actually your drinking cup. Actually, I made myself something earlier. So that's the blender cup. So the blades would actually go on to top of that. You flip it over, put it on the base, and it would blend, for those of you who've never seen them. And then basically it's a grab and go, and it comes with a cover lid, which is great too. So I really like that because it's less dishes. It means I'm not transferring from a large blender base into a cup on the go, but it also means it's not taking up a ton of space in my house. So those of you who don't know, like, I'm a minimalist, or I try to live very minimally. I only bring in equipment and things into my home that have multi-use, that are not going to take up a lot of space, and that I truly really need. And so the Magic Bullet checks all those boxes for me. Okay. But truthfully, it doesn't blend super smooth like a Vitamix would. So if you're looking for, a pretty smooth smoothie and cost-effective option, then looking at, something from your local big box store within the $50 to $100 range is probably a really good option for you to get started, or to upgrade, even if you're working with something smaller that you're just not getting the results you like with. So here are the 5 steps to building a really healthy smoothie. Okay, number 1, choose your liquid. So your best options are water, coconut water, or dairy-free milk. Okay, so I never recommend putting juice into a smoothie. A smoothie, like I mentioned earlier, you can build it the right way, you can build it the wrong way, and I'm going to touch on that soon. But building it the wrong way, you can have too many calories in it, and adding juice to a smoothie most definitely adds too many calories. And so you will notice that your smoothie will actually make you gain weight if you're adding, juices into your smoothies, unless those happen to be freshly made vegetable juices. Those are a little bit better options if you must add a juice. Otherwise, water, coconut water, or dairy-free milk. I also don't recommend, animal-based milk either for your smoothies, particularly because animal-based milk does increase the amount of inflammation going on within your gut and your body in other places. And so working with a dairy-free milk is going to really help eliminate that type of inflammation in your gut so that when you are absorbing these nutrients, you're not irritating anything else going on in there. Number 2, choose your greens. Okay, you like, it is a waste to make a smoothie and not throw something green in it. Okay, so kale, spinach, parsley, Swiss chard, collards, lettuce, these are all really great options. Now, Swiss chard and collards are very fibrous as well as kale. So if you're adding those to your smoothies, you're going to want to make sure that you do have, you know, a blender in that $100 range to really break them down. Otherwise, you can try massaging them a little bit and removing the center rib so that you don't get that super fibrous feeling in your smoothie, okay? Then choose your fruit. This is where you're going to help sweeten it a little bit. So bananas are a really great option. Apples, berries, you can never go wrong adding berries to your smoothie, or mangoes. And of course, you can leave out the fruit depending on the types of, you know, your goal, basically your goal of eating your smoothie. So then choose a fat or protein. Okay, so hemp seeds are a really great option. Hemp protein powder, nut butters and seed butters, avocado. You could add like 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, and flax and chia seeds are great options. I actually also add, depending on the flavor of my smoothie, but I sometimes add cooked white navy beans. Yeah, sounds super weird, but they have very little flavor, so you can easily add a full serving of protein into your smoothie without compromising the flavor, and it actually gives a really creamy texture. So that's another option of adding in some protein in there. And then, of course, adding a superfood. This is where you're going to take your smoothie from being like a level 8 in health to like well beyond 10. This is where you're just boosting it with the smallest amount and the most nutrient dense options. Okay, so maca is a really great powder to add in there. Raw cocoa powder is another really great one. That's one of my favorite ones. It's loaded with antioxidants, so high in iron sources, really high in even calcium sources, and even protein. Believe it or not, like raw cocoa actually has pretty high levels of protein. So really great option for adding that. And of course, like, who doesn't love chocolate? Bee pollen, if you're not vegan, that's another option too. Adding some shredded coconut into there, or basically anything of your choice. Here's where I actually also recommend adding hemp hearts. So if you haven't added any flax, chia, or hemp hearts as a fat or protein source, I would add these as a superfood. So when our bodies have the proper nutritional foundation, this supports our immune system. So smoothies are an excellent source of, you know, vitamins and minerals in just one simple glass per day, basically. And increasing our fruits and vegetables that are high in antioxidants are going to boost our immunity as well. So it's not a surprise, I think, to most of us these days that eating healthy and adding more fruits and vegetables to our diet is going to benefit us. And smoothies just really makes it one of those easy ways, especially if you're working with maybe some picky kids at home who just, you know, they don't like to eat their leafy greens, like they don't like salads, or there's certain vegetables that they really don't enjoy. These are a really easy way to add those to your children's diet without them, you know, having so much of an issue maybe with the texture. And like a smoothie doesn't have to stay in a cup. You can pour that into a bowl and load it with some granola and some like beautiful toppings like shredded coconut, some pumpkin seeds, make it a smoothie bowl. You could pour it into, this is one of my favorites, okay? You can pour it into popsicle molds, throw it in your freezer, and your kids can have like smoothie popsicles. I do this all the time with my daughter. My daughter's favorite color is green, so I'm fortunate in the fact that she likes to see green food. So I can always add a lot of dark green food to her smoothies, and her smoothie popsicles, and get that into her that way. And then another really great way is actually turning your smoothies into muffins, which is a fantastic way. So it's really, really simple. And if you would like to know how to do that, just leave a comment in the chat box. I'd be happy to walk you through that process, okay? Now, smoothie benefits: nutrient absorption, decreased food allergies because we are supporting a healthy gut. So we have good digestion, regulated body weight, and reduced inflammation within our body, okay? That's a recap basically of everything I've just talked about. Some healthy add-ins: wheatgrass, hemp seeds, shredded coconut, maca, cocoa powder, spirulina is a really great one, coconut oil. And if you are new to Juice Plus or to JP Heal, of course, adding the complete powder is a fantastic way to boost the level of your smoothie from an 8 to like well beyond a 10, okay? So if you don't know or you're not familiar with these shakes, this is an incredible powder. It is plant-based entirely, so made of a plant-based protein blend, powerful prebiotic fiber, which, as we talked about, is helping to support our gut, regulating our blood sugar levels, which is actually why it's safe for people with diabetes. Vegan and non-GMO, gluten and dairy-free. These are important because it means that they do not contain inflammatory foods. It means that it is a clean product that when you are eating, your body is not recognizing as a foreign invader and is causing inflammation or issues within your body. So it is a clean product that allows you to actually enjoy your food as opposed to feeling uncomfortable after you eat something, okay? This is one of my go-to powder. Actually, it's the only protein powder I ever buy, but it's one of my go-to convenience treats in my house too. So really great product. If you're not yet using it, you should look into it. And especially because right now, today's the 22nd. Okay, so we only have 8 days left, but the company is doing a fantastic opportunity for you to get a pouch of either the Dutch chocolate or the French vanilla shakes for free, just by being a part of the family health study. And so one pouch has 15 servings, okay? So it's like free for you, which is amazing. So reach out to the person who invited you here tonight if you have not yet taken advantage of this deal, because you only have another 8 days to do so. And I'm sure they would be more than happy to give you all the details and get you set up so that you can have that delivered to you within just a couple of days, okay? Now, bioindividuality. Bioindividuality. Let's try that again. This is the concept that each of us is different and that none of our two bodies are the same, okay? So this is why some people really thrive on a vegetarian diet while others feel that they need meat, and why some people can even do like 100% raw food while others feel that they really need those cooked meals in order to attain and maintain optimal health. So here are a couple of suggestions for you based on your bio-individuality, okay? So if you are a cool-bodied person by nature, you can add warming spices to your smoothie that are going to help improve your digestion and nutrient assimilation, okay? So you can try using cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, turmeric, or cayenne. So I personally am a cool-bodied person. I'm always cold. So these are fantastic ones that I add to my smoothies regularly. And I do notice that I feel a lot, I wouldn't say it like it would, they don't warm me up, but my body feels better when I eat these spices on a regular basis, and especially in my smoothies. So starting with just a dash and then increasing to about a half a teaspoon, just as your body becomes adjusted to it or as you become accustomed to the taste. Like I wouldn't go ahead and add a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper into your smoothie until you are ready to add that kind of spice. But if you find that you are a warm-bodied person, you can add in some cooling spices. So mint is a really great one, cilantro and cardamom, okay? Now, here is smoothie troubleshooting. This is where we're going to get into looking at what your actual goals are and why you're eating smoothies. So if your goal is weight loss, we want to make sure that we are regulating our blood sugar levels so that we don't feel hungry within a short period of eating or drinking our smoothie, okay? So adding in 2 tablespoons of a healthy fat source to your smoothie is going to help you do that. So healthy fats would be things like hemp hearts, chia seeds, flax seeds, a little bit of coconut oil, or even just coconut milk. Avocado is a fantastic one. Okay, so those are like, those were 6 options right there that you can be adding to your smoothies to help give you a little bit more sustained satisfied feeling after you drink your smoothie, and you're less likely to snack. You're also less likely to have cravings, so that means you're going to snack less, and when you do eat, you're going to choose healthier options. So if you're looking to gain weight, then this is where we want to focus on adding really high density, calorie dense foods into our smoothies. Okay, so adding in 2 tablespoons of a healthy fat, so of the 6 I just labeled, plus a 1/4 cup of uncooked rolled oats. Or you could do a 1/4 cup of cooked sweet potato, or add in an extra banana, or add in 1 banana if your smoothie didn't call for it. Basically adding in some dense whole grain complex carbohydrates is going to help you gain weight. Those are adding some more calories to your smoothie. Again, stay away from the juices. Those are empty calories. They're not going to really do you any good, but adding in healthy sources of calorie dense foods and complex carbohydrates is going to help you gain weight. Now, if you find that you're feeling hungry after your smoothie, adding 1 serving of protein plus 2 tablespoons of a healthy fat. So protein sources could be like the complete powder is a really great one. That's a super easy, convenient way to get in some protein and not have to really think about it. Okay, so it just takes the work out of it. Super easy. But like I mentioned, also you could add like a little bit of beans like I do. That's a really great option to it. I promise you that you don't taste them. It sounds really strange, but you don't taste them. So if you find that you're feeling bloated after your smoothie, I recommend drinking it slower. Or review the ingredients you've used. It's possible that you've put in something into your smoothie that just didn't agree with you stomach-wise. I know sometimes there are smoothies that call for cauliflower, which is a fantastic way to have cauliflower in your diet on a regular basis, but for some people, drinking that in their smoothie causes some indigestion, a little bit of bloating. And so reviewing what you've put in your smoothie and maybe just doing an elimination of certain items, and or drinking it slower. Oftentimes, because it's so convenient drinking it in a cup, we just drink it faster than we would if we were eating it as whole food. Okay, so drinking it slower is going to allow your body the opportunity to start absorbing it before you are actually finished it. Now, if you're using your smoothie as a pre-workout meal, adding in a 1/4 cup of uncooked rolled oats, or again, another complex carbohydrate such as cooked sweet potato, and 1 serving of protein is going to give you the energy that your muscles need in order to get through your workout, but also the protein that your muscles need in order to stay basically healthy and be prepared to repair themselves after your workout. So if you're using your smoothie as a post-workout, as like a recovery option, making sure you have that protein is just so essential so that your muscles really can repair themselves afterwards. And maybe just adding in a tablespoon of a healthy fat just to help balance your blood sugar level so that you don't have a drop after that workout, and you're not going to, run to the cupboard and maybe eat things that are going to counteract all the good you've just done in your workout. Okay, if you find you're gaining too much weight, again, I mentioned this, you likely have too many calories in your smoothie. It is not uncommon to have anywhere between 400 and 700 calories in a smoothie. Okay, so think about that. The average woman needs 2,000 calories a day. The average man needs about 2,500. And if you're getting 700 calories in a smoothie, plus all the rest of the meals that you're having in a day, you're putting too much into your smoothie. And so now, if you're adding fruits and vegetables and a healthy fat and a healthy protein, you're probably in the region of about 400 to 500 calories. That's not too bad. Okay, so that's about basically a healthy meal portion. Okay, but when you start getting into higher amounts, maybe you're adding a lot of uncooked oats or a really big sweet potato, or you just have a lot of fruit in your smoothie, that's you get to that region of too many calories, and it's just too much for your body to keep up with when you factor in how much you're also eating the rest of your day, okay? And if you need to balance your hormones, ladies, this one's for you. 1 serving of dairy-free protein. It must be dairy-free. Dairy is such a huge endocrine disruptor, okay? So if you haven't caught any of my hormone talks, let me know in the comments. I'm working on putting up a rotation of some of those talks again in the next couple of weeks. So if that interests you, just let me know and I can let you know about the dates for that. So serving of dairy-free protein plus 2 tablespoons of healthy fats. And again, that's because we really need to be stabilizing our blood sugar levels. When we have stable insulin levels within our body, it reduces the overload of our endocrine system that would cause hormone imbalances. So I'm going to leave that there because I don't want to get too far into that. That's a ton of information. But so for me personally, smoothies have really helped me in so many ways. Like I have less fatigue. I have so much more energy. I have less bloating. My stomach is no longer like upset when I eat food. I did have a really, really low immune system before, and I find now, you know, I don't know if I should dare say this, but I haven't had a common cold in like 18 months, okay? It's incredible. So it just, you know, having more fruits and vegetables and concentration in my body has allowed my body to have that increased immunity, okay? It's also helped me with my anxiety because anxiety is looped around how our insulin levels are regulating in our body, how our cortisol and stress levels are regulating within our body. And so when we've got those balanced hormones, we have less anxiety, okay? It has helped me lose weight that I was really, really working hard to lose and just couldn't. And then it's even helped me clear up my skin, okay? So these are like all really big things that were interfering with my life on a daily basis that were just making it really, really hard for me to feel and ultimately look the way that I really wanted to, okay? So here's one smoothie recipe for you. Feel free to take a screenshot of that. And it's this one's an energy boosting one, okay? So you can see that we've got the healthy fats, so the avocado, the hemp seeds, some spinach, which just a fantastic like vegetable source, ground flax seeds, chia seeds, so all really healthy fats and proteins in this one, which are really going to give you that energy that you need to get through the day without that crash, okay? So I'm going to move on to the next one. This one's really great for helping your digestive system, okay? So ginger is fantastic for, you know, helping our body detox and just moving things along really well. This smoothie has a lot of fiber, so the spinach, the pineapple, that all has a lot of fiber that's really going to help your body and your digestive system keep regular, okay? So this is a really great one as well for that. So if you're ready to get started with smoothies, how do you get there? 1, talk to the person who invited you here tonight. 2, get yourself a free pouch of either the chocolate or the vanilla complete protein powder, because why not? It's free. And then 3, start making those delicious smoothies. If you didn't get the chance to take a screenshot of those 2 recipes, let me know and I will send them to you. But otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up and jump over to the chat box there. I see we've got some questions. Let's see here.